down to business. I got my wild cherry Diet Pepsi, and I got my blackjack gum here, and I got that feeling. Yeah, that familiar feeling that something rank is going down out there.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh, I'm here to fucking amuse you. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me what's fun.
Oh, me, sir, goddammit! Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Go to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
Oh, you!
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I'm so racist! Anybody move, I'll blow your fucking head off. And the medic gets out and says, oh my God.
I'm your huckleberry.
My advice to you is to start drinking heavily.
Put that coffee down.
Well, any of this calls for the old Billy Baroo.
That's a huge bitch.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It's over, Johnny. It's over!
Oh, yeah. Nah, it ain't over. Don't worry, people. Just starting. It is a THT movie review. It is Friday night, late night here on THT. Oh, what's going on? Anthony.
What's going on, Boxy?
What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, especially for Friday the 13th. I don't know if you checked that.
It is. It's Friday the 13th. There was a full moon out tonight. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
There is a full moon out. So all you crazy fuckers out there, take it easy. We know what you're up to. Don't be using Friday the 13th and the full moon as an excuse to go out and commit crimes. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, and I wear a condom.
Yeah.
you don't use that as an excuse 9 months later. Maybe it was Friday the 13th. It's not my fault.
You scared me. You fucking scared me. I'm sorry.
I told you we shouldn't have fucked on the 13th.
I told you it was bad luck. God damn it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Let's move on from that before my fiance hears me and comes in here with a fucking knife aiming at my nuts. Anyway, Anthony, we are about to talk about a movie that I suggested the other day after watching it on Saturday. That I believed is right up your alley. You are a fan of the Mafia gangster-type movies. And Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp playing Whitey Bulger, is that type of movie. I don't know what took me so long to see it. My dad was like, holy shit, you haven't seen that movie yet? I'm like, no. So he's seen it, but now I realize one of the reasons my dad has seen this movie. My family, I've said before, is from the Boston area. We're actually from the southish Boston area, Randolph, Dorchester. So, you know, there's some right there. Most of my family's in Brockton and Sharon, which is all that South Boston area.
Congratulations for not adopting the accent.
Thank you. Luckily, I moved from Boston when I was 6. It's funny, every now and then certain words my parents say, because, I mean, they were there forever. They were born and raised there, you know, but every now and then my parents still say the Boston accents. Like, my dad will mean to say short, but he'll go, "Oh, it's shot." I'm like, "What did you just say?" "I mean, it's short."
So, who do you think has the more distinctive accent, Boston and New York?
Oh, I think the Boston accent is way more distinctive. The South Boston accent, you know, they call it Southie. You'll even hear in the movie they call it Southie all the time. This is the South Boston. Listen, I told you this off air, and I'm from there. I have tons of family from Boston, still living in Boston. It is one of the most illiterate sounding accents in the world. No offense, but it is. And you people, you know, you can't help it, but it really is. New York isn't much better. New Jersey is pretty bad too, but the Boston accent is horrible, absolutely horrible. My grandmother still has it. My grandfather had it. On my dad's side, you know, on my mom's side, I mean, both my grandparents on my dad's side, both, you know, died in Boston, so they had it bad. But my grandfather, my dad's dad, actually used to hang out in a couple of bars that Whitey Bulger would come in.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Now, when my dad would walk in, he would immediately tell my dad, "Leave. You look at that man wrong, he's going to shoot you. Leave. Leave the bar." So immediately my dad would get the fuck out of there. So, but, you know, his dad would stay. And obviously never had any problems with him. I've heard some pretty crazy stories about Boston back in the late 70s, early 80s that are really, really insane. But yeah, that's one of them where, you know, right there, you know, my grandfather hung with him. Now, we'll get into the movie in just a second. Now, in the movie, I don't know who, you know, we're more going to talk about Whitey Bulger because the movie's, number one, it's 2 hour and 5 minute movie. Number two, it's a true story. So we can pretty much just talk about Whitey Bulger's life and Whitey Bulger. But Whitey Bulger was an informant for the FBI basically from 1975 is what they're saying. Now, him and his crew did not consider it informing because they were doing it against their rival gang, the Angiulios. Now, my uncle also represented the Angiulios in one of those cases. My uncle's 85 years old, still practicing law, by the way. Wow. Just so you know. So, yeah, still practicing law, 85 years old. So he's been around a long time. You know, and I mean, what?
No, I said it's funny you should say that because our boy Whitey, he's actually 87, turned 87 back on September 3rd. So yeah, both you and your uncle and him going strong.
Yeah, you obviously grew up right around the same time, so you know, right around the same age, obviously. Now I was telling also Anthony, my uncle also has done some bigger cases. One of them is I was just telling Anthony about this, the rapper Benzino. I guess his nephew shot him.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Well, he was the attorney for Benzino. So, you know, there's that. My uncle also consulted on the movie The Departed because he was the attorney for the people in that movie also. For the crime family in that movie. That is a Scorsese movie. I need to watch that, too. That's another movie all about South Boston, the Southie area, the Irish gangs infiltrating. Maybe I'll watch that tomorrow. I'm my kids are going to be away for the weekend. That might be a good Saturday night, get real drunk and watch a movie. So, and there's also this I haven't mentioned to you. There's a book and a TV show called The Art of the Heist. That is about an art dealer, actually an art thief, who was running around Boston doing that. The New England area. My uncle actually was the attorney on that case and actually consulted on that book. This was actually all in Milton, Massachusetts. My mother went to Milton, Milton High School. I went to Milton Elementary when I was there. So this was right in my neighborhood, all this stuff too. So The Art of the Heist, another thing he's done. But, that's just a few things I know about him. But I guess let's go ahead and get into the movie right now. One quick thing I want to say, two quick trivia. I know we usually do the trivia things at the end, but there's two that I want to mention first before we get into the movie. I said starring Johnny Depp as Whitey Bulger. That is correct. He tried many times to actually speak to Whitey, the real James Whitey Bulger, while preparing. Never happened. And to make sure Johnny Depp's performance was true, they actually, the director Scott Hooper hired some of Bulger's old associates and consultants to the film. Each of them praised Depp's performance, saying, "That's Whitey." So he obviously did incredible in this movie. And, I really completely enjoyed this movie. There was nothing about this movie. I didn't know much about Whitey Bulger at the time. So, and I still don't. I've been looking into him a little bit in the past few days, but this movie, this guy was paranoid about being caught.
As most mob bosses are.
He was you're right, like they are. He was a viciously violent person. Had zero problems killing anyone. And anywhere there wasn't a witness, he would kill you if you pissed him off.
Yeah, and it's funny you should say that, because I know we normally do. You're going to get to your NYPD Blue tie-in.
Oh, of course.
I'm actually going. I'm going to tie in into a little Goodfellas here. Now, real quick, you how you said Whitey's just like real paranoid and he would kill you at the drop of a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing I will give this movie credit for over Goodfellas is Goodfellas actually downplayed Paulie, because in the real Paulie, in real life, was a vicious killer. He's basically Whitey.
Right.
Times like 10. But in the movie, they kind of portrayed him as like very like soft-spoken, laid back. You didn't really see him get too upset.
Right.
So whereas they kind of place Paul Sorvino against type, but this one I'd say is more accurate to the character he's supposed to be portraying.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
Mask.
Exactly. Yeah, I bumped my mic with my headphone there. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to blow anyone's ears out. Sorry, people. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they really showed the violent side of him, and I really think that's what they were trying to show in this movie, was that violent side of him. Quick.
You okay, Box? I thought you was saying too much and somebody was coming in that back door on you.
Is someone?
No, I'm not talking about the lady friend. I'm talking about some connected guys. Like, oh, he's saying too much.
No.
You gotta shut him up.
Quick NYPD Blue reference, like I always do. Corey Stoll, in this movie, he played Fred Weishak. Wasn't a huge part, but he was in. He was actually in one episode of NYPD Blue. I actually remember the episode. He played a mentally challenged guy whose brother was killed, and he kept asking Sipowicz if he had weed. You guys got any weed?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's your NYPD Blue tie-in. Yes, it's in every goddamn movie.
Yes. And also, Kevin Bacon is in this fucking movie.
Of course.
Is there anything that Kevin Bacon isn't in?
I mean, we've said before, the Kevin Bacon game lives. My NYPD Blue game still lives. And Kevin Bacon, basically who I'm doing this for, is in this movie. who else is in this movie? We got Johnny Depp. We got Benedict Cumberbatch. I just like saying that name. Dakota Johnson, Kevin Bacon, Rory Cochrane, who he was Slater in Dazed and Confused. And he
you're right.
And he was Speedle in CSI Miami.
What else we got here?
Let's see, W. Earl Brown. He's another one people know. Adam Scott, among many others in this movie. This was a big cast. This was a very, very, very good movie, though. Basically, let's go ahead and get into the start of the movie. We said before that Whitey Bulger was an FBI informant since 1975. It actually ended up being his guys ended up informing on him. And basically, they didn't find it as ratting either. As we're going to go ahead, and the movie starts with this quote, which will... Now, he's sitting in the FBI room. They have hit the tape player, and this is what you hear to start the movie.
Before we start, I want you to know something. I'm not a rat. You understand? I want that on record before we start.
Okay, you are not a rat, and it's on record. Mr. Weeks,
All right, and that was Kevin Weeks. Once the gang finally got rounded up, the Winter Hill Gang, as they became to be known in the Southie area, Kevin Weeks and actually all the guys ended up ratting on Whitey. By the way, no one called him Whitey to his name. According to John Connolly, who was his FBI handler, calling him that's going to do nothing but get you a fucking smack. Yeah. Yep. And that was basically an exact quote right there. So no one really ever called him Whitey to his name. But as usual, we got Weeble in here spitting some facts for us. Whitey Bulger's assets were actually auctioned off June 25th, 2016, raising $109,000 for his victims. Among the items on auction were a rat-shaped pencil holder, went for $3,600. A 1992 excise tax bill from the city of Boston for $160. His lock-picking kit for $125. I have one of those. As part of a lot including 95 mini flashlights, a pocket knife, and a Leatherman tool. So,
Does the city autograph anything?
I don't know. Doesn't everyone carry a lockpick kit with them? No? Just me? Okay.
Hey, Box, I don't know if the statute of limitations is up on. No. You got a lockpick kick for it.
No, dude, you can go to Harbor Freight and get one for $2.99 if you know what you... Please. Please. This movie starts off with violence. Basically, Kevin in this movie is... it starts off with him trying to get in... Not trying, but, obviously kind of cuddling up to Whitey Bulger. He's a bouncer outside of a bar that Whitey is in. Someone tries to get in, and they end up in a fight. He beats he's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. We should point out that it's like 4 or 5 dudes beating him up, though.
Yeah, it's 4 or 5 guys. He was holding his own at the beginning. Come to find out, the guy that he was actually in a fight with, now, he doesn't just get into a fight with him. He will not let him in the bar. The guy is doing his job, what he's told.
Yeah, and basically he won't let him in the bar because apparently there was an incident the night before where I guess the guy got a little too hammered, pissed in the middle of the bar, and they said, no, you can't come back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah, and by the way, Weebs, I am not endorsing lock-picking. I have a lock-pick and a Slim Jim. Not the Slim Jim you eat.
You trying to trap him again?
But everyone should have both. Look, you get locked out of your house, you can get locked out of a car. Okay? You should be able to get back in both. Jeez. Anyway.
You're going to learn a lot tonight, folks. Thanks, Boxman. Going to learn a lot.
Yeah, you can learn how to pick locks.
The legal way.
It's really not hard, really. I mean, how do you think... I'll break down a wall here. How do you think magicians get out of all those locks? They pick the locks. Yeah. That's how they do it. Sorry. Didn't mean to ruin anything for everybody. Anyway. Comes up on next day, and Whitey picks up Kevin, and obviously he is shaking in his shoes because, Whitey obviously has a reputation in this town. So, he picks him up, and he's also got another guy with him. I believe his name is Tommy. Isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Not our Tommy, but
right.
I wish it was. But no,
it
wasn't our Tommy.
It was not our Tommy, but another Tommy. Whitey gets out of the car, has Kevin. He goes, no, you drive. So he gets in, he starts the car, and they're driving. They drive to an empty lot. Now, the empty lot that they go to became known as something called Bulger's burial site. Literally, that's what it became known as. So many bodies were buried in this area that's what it became known as. They take him out there, and obviously this Kevin kid thinks he's about to get his ass kicked, and they start beating the hell out of this other guy. Well, Whitey starts, and he looks at Kevin, and Kevin knows what's up, and he starts beating the shit out of him. Yeah. So right there, he knows one thing. And it's even said, actually, I'll give it a minute. We can actually get to that. But they beat this kid like he's fucking Joe Pesci in Casino.
So, wow, would you say, hey, you broke your cherry?
Yeah. Exactly.
That was his breaking the cherry moment.
Exactly. Here, let's see here.
Meet Joey Angelo.
Let's see. And he basically tells him, you got some kind of loyalty, and I like loyalty. So Kevin actually becomes his right-hand man pretty much. Yeah. I mean, basically, that's what he becomes, as his right-hand man. Now, let's go ahead and get into the informant part of this. We kind of glossed over it in the beginning. The year is 1975, year I was born. Whee! Whitey Bulger gets... Actually, let's back up. Whitey Bulger goes to... He's living back in Boston, been out of jail about 10 years. John Connolly, one of his old friends, actually gets moved up, becomes FBI. And not only FBI, but he becomes FBI that's involved with organized crime.
Yeah.
Who, obviously, their job is to go after the mob. So they do, but Connolly tries to befriend Whitey in a different way. He basically he's got a plan to give Whitey a get-out-of-jail-free card for all the crimes he's committing, and he can take down his rival, the rival family, the Angiulio family, while doing it, while he's out committing the same crimes they are. And worse. Way fucking worse, actually. So that's pretty much what's going on. Connolly ends up, convincing everyone that it's a good idea to get Whitey Bulger as an informant. And even the director, I believe that's the part Kevin Bacon plays. Director, they just show him as FBI agent, but he was like a superior agent. He was definitely one of the superior agents in the office. Now, by the way, let's not forget one fact in this movie. James Bulger's brother is a senator in Boston at this time. So, you know, big political stuff going on. John Connolly actually goes to his brother first. Why don't you let me talk to your brother? I want to get him on the informant. And basically he tells him to go fuck himself. But Connolly goes around him and goes directly to Whitey. Which, talk about a ballsy move from this fucking guy. You know, to go directly to Whitey. And tells him I'm an FBI agent and going to be investigating organized crime. I mean, you know, my grandfather always said there's a very fine line between balls and stupidity, and it can get crossed very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I guess he was just preying on like human emotion. Like, this is somebody I grew up with. We was friends at one time. We took different different paths in life, but like I said, he took a chance because at the end of the day, they're at different stages in their life. They're playing for different teams, and that could have went very, very differently.
Yeah, but he was obviously not even in the long run, but he was trying to protect Bulger while he was using him as an informant. Matter of fact, they went months getting nothing from Whitey. And then suddenly all this shit started coming in. And again, he did not consider this informing, Whitey Bulger, because he was telling on his rivals, not on his own crew. Matter of fact, he even makes it clear, I will never rat on my own crew. You know, the only thing I will do is rat on my rivals. But, you know, so I guess you can, and to this day, he actually denies he was ever an informant because he doesn't believe he was an informant. To this day, let's not forget, this guy is still alive. This guy wasn't captured until 2013, I believe.
No, actually, I want to say it was 2011.
Give me one sec here. Hold on here. Plotcast, release. You might be right. Hold on here. Here. Instead of me doing this, why don't I just type in Whitey Bulger captured? Because it was... Here we go. Whitey Bulger capture date was... You were right. 2011. Yeah. 2011.
From 1975 to 2000. This man... Woo! I mean, people talk about Teflon Dons. This is the original Teflon Don as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
if you went from 1975 to 2011 before the cops caught your ass.
Yeah, he was spotted all over the globe. I mean, other countries, everywhere. But this guy...
He had a hell of a run.
He did, and you know, I mean, this movie's spanned out into like the early 80s, I believe, right?
Yeah.
75 to the early 80s when he was finally, yeah, because, you know, shows him getting older and everything. But, you know, I guess back to where he's a very paranoid guy, what I meant by that was anyone, I mean, he took any little thing you did and could turn it into something against you. Actually, I'm at the part right now where Connolly is telling him, now, Whitey didn't do this on his own choice, Whitey Bulger. Basically, he was between the proverbial rock and a hard place. Either John Connolly basically told him, either you help me and inform, or you're going to be they're going to come after you, and they're ready to come after you, bring you up on charges and federal charges, which is racketeering and everything he finally got caught with anyway. But So basically, I mean, you know, that's a rock and a hard place. What do? You want to stay out of jail? You got to be a rat.
It's either either you help us get the bad guys, or we'll bring you bad guys. Take your pick.
Exactly. Exactly. But you know that there was that part. Again, never considered himself a rat. Never, because he was informing on, like I said, his rival gang of the Angiulio family. You know, we even go to a scene where he's in the bar with one of his crew. One of his crew gets drunk as hell. You know, some guys get really loud when they get drunk, and this guy does. He starts bitching. He says something to Whitey. He actually gets up in Whitey's face. They almost start throwing punches. And, you know, the guy's trying to apologize to him the next day, this and that. Takes him out to Bulger's burial site. And Whitey whacks this guy. Not only
and we should backtrack a little bit. It's kind of funny. I'm sorry. I have a sick sense of humor.
Jesus.
Before this, when I guess him and his buddy, they picked this guy up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before they pull off, he runs back in his house to pick up a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
He runs back in his house to pick up a bulletproof vest. Because I guess he's assuming they're going out to put a hit out on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Whitey pops him in the back of the head a couple times, he just looks down at him. A lot of good your bulletproof vest did you today. And I'm sorry. I laughed so hard.
I actually did too. I was like, that's so fucked up.
Oh, God. What they call it, like a gallows sense of humor? I just thought that was fucking great.
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, God. A lot of good your fucking bulletproof vest did you.
Fuck. Here, hold on. You're making me want to go to the park.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not going to let you pass that part. That was gold.
I won't.
Gold, Jerry, gold.
Here, hold on. Give me 1 sec here.
Promise. We good?
Yeah, we're good. Oh, it's good your vest did you today, you fucking prick.
That was great.
That was Pesci.
That's a good your vest did you today. That's a good that vest did you today, you fucking prick. Yeah.
Like I said, man, you know, and what there's a lot of good fellas in this movie.
Well,
a lot of good. If they would ever make a good, this is probably as close as you can get to a Goodfellas sequel done right.
Yeah, what an excellent. I mean, this is a great movie, and they just bring him down, bury him, and go on like that's it. On with your day. Just another part of your day, burying the body.
But I guess it goes to show you, like, as much as they say, like, we're a family, for the littlest infraction, you can get yourself killed. I mean, it's not like, look, you get in a fight with your friends or your brother or whatever, a family member. After a day or two, it blows over. It's like, forget about it. I said dumb shit. You said dumb shit. Mm-hmm. People move on with life. But with these guys, they don't forget shit.
No, and look, we all have friends with short tempers and this and that. But, back in these days, a guy like this, a bad temper meant you were dead. And listen, like I've told you, I've heard many stories of how crazy South Boston was at this time. It was fucking Wild West down there, dude. Listen, there's stories of my grandfather shooting people in bars, because they were, trying to beat him up, kill him. I've heard some majorly crazy stories.
Yeah, they probably can be verified.
Listen. There's some I won't even tell that I've heard, just because I won't. Just
Yeah,
yeah. My grandfather was a really good man, and I wouldn't want to tarnish his reputation. But
wouldn't expect you to.
Look, it was a different time back then. You did what you had to do. Not everything was a fucking prison sentence.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, even in this day and time and age, kill or be killed. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, except now
if,
they
it's
have
choice,
all
if
these...
it's a choice between you and the other guy, hey.
Yeah, well, I mean, back in these days, they would walk into a bar and they would go, all right, anyone see what happened? Yeah, they're looking down, looking down, looking down. All right, that's it. Everyone, whatever. Go back to your drink and we're out of here. You know, and that's it. Cops would do that. Now they bring in fucking crime scene, forensics, and you're fucked. You're fucked. You can't get away with shit anymore, so don't fucking try it.
Yeah.
Don't
So, I mean, you know, I guess not to, you know, sidetrack, but since we're on the topic, you know, we're in 2017, Box. Obviously, there's still an underworld. There's still a criminal underworld. You know, that's never going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know, if you had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, how organized would you say organized crime is in 2017 compared to, say, like 1977, 1987?
I actually believe they're way more organized. I believe they're more cyber now than anything. Listen, yeah, there's still mob hits and stuff. I mean, John Gotti, you know, is probably the most recent one everyone's heard of. You know, I mean, and that was back in the 80s when he was running shit. But I trust me, like, you know, like you just said, it's never going away. Never going away. And like, you know, basically Gotti used to say, hey, they're going to miss me. They're going to miss a guy like me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
A guy who brought it out front, lets you know that we were here.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they're still out there. I just think they're way more organized in a cyber type way.
Cyber type way. My bosses is fucking sending Facebook messages to their crew like.
Oh, they're probably on their own fucking VPNs and shit.
Twitter, that's fucking that just the thought of that would be hilarious. A mob boss with a Twitter handle.
Dude, I guarantee Gotti would have been a Twitter god.
No, but seriously though, like, you know, the saying goes, real bad boys move in silence. So I don't think he, you know, if he was still around today, I don't think he would even have an online presence. You would know he was around, but you wouldn't know he was around.
I mean, even with like cell phones and stuff now, dude, they're at the, you know, the disposable cells and, you know, there's definitely ways to cover your tracks nowadays. It's just a lot harder.
Yeah. For one, it's cameras that we fucking wear.
Yeah, exactly. I guess let's go back to the movie real quick. Let's go right to the part where he tells one of his crew, the guy played by Rory Cochrane of this movie, which is another one of his right-hand men, Stephen Flemmi. And he decides to tell him that they're all about to become informants for the FBI. And he even puts it as, you know, we're not, this isn't like informant. It's, you know, this is what it is. It's telling them what's going on while we continue doing business as usual. Here, let's see.
You can trust me. Good. Because there's something I want you to know. I'm making a deal with the feds. An alliance.
You're informant to the FBI.
No, there's informing, and then there's informing. Informant, you should be fucking chopped up and put into a garbage bag. That's it. Informing, you're the scum of the scum. But it's not informing when you're bringing down the cocksuckers who deserve to be brought down. Like the fucking Brits in the 6 counties or the goddamn Dagos up in the North End. It's a business opportunity. Get the FBI to fight our wars against our enemies while they protect us and we do whatever the fuck we want to do.
See, he had an agenda the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously. And Connolly knew it. And they basically hinted to that throughout the movie, that he was going to help Whitey. Well, I guess we should be calling him James. I don't know. He ain't going to fucking come out and get me. I mean, the fuck. I mean, basically...
I'm calling James just in case.
Nah.
Because you don't know me.
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Basically, he's telling Whitey Bulger here, you know, and he just said it. We'll continue doing whatever the fuck we want to do while they're not only getting information from us, but protecting us. And that's what Connolly was doing, was protecting Whitey Bulger. Every time there was a case against him, it suddenly got pushed to the side. And Kevin Bacon's character in this movie actually was way pushing against it. But by the end of this, he was not only, I mean, he was totally compliant by the end. They were, you know, I mean, Bulger's people were buying him trips to, you know, out of the country in Switzerland and shit. And, you know, he was just as complicit as anybody in this. So somehow even John Connolly got his bosses to start agreeing with him.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny how money can change a situation.
Yeah, no shit, man. But, you know, but man, but again, this was a safety net for him. It was making him feel safe. And he didn't have to go to prison because of it.
Yeah.
You know? Which was another good thing for him. And, you know, he was going to do federal time. But, I mean, there's many scenes where it's, you know, Whitey Bulger, his brother, the senator, and John Connolly all sitting together. And, you know, having dinner, drinking wine, and all this stuff. Now, here's a really, this is going to be one of the worst parts of the movie for me. His 6-year-old son.
Yeah, I know what you're getting to.
Yeah, this, and listen, this would probably cause any guy to snap a little bit. This is a stressor and a half. His 6-year-old son, I believe, is cancer, right?
I believe so.
I believe so. Cancer, and actually gets sicker and sicker and does end up dying at the age of 6 years old. You know, horrible. But another part in this movie, I thought he was going to kill his wife. Basically, she says it's time to end his suffering, and she'll pull the fucking plug. And he fucking loses his mind. Really. Like, I thought she was going to die right there. But he loses his fucking mind with her. She leaves him, so, yeah, he's on his own. Let me see if I can find that part here. Let me see.
I mean, obviously this is only a movie. I wouldn't wish this one.
Actually, here, right here.
On life support, Jimmy. He's not going anywhere. You gotta accept it.
I don't gotta do fucking nothing.
Look at me. Jimmy, please look at me. He's never gonna be a little boy again, ever. He's brain dead. He's on life support. He can't move. And I don't want him like that. I can't have my little boy be like that.
Here it is.
I'll pull the plug myself. I will.
He looks up right here with a look of death. What did you say? Oof.
What the fuck did you just say?
This is an intense scene. I thought they were going to find her body there. Again, never knowing much of the story of this movie, I thought she was dead. But I don't want to play too much of it because we won't be able to go on online. But really loses his fucking mind with her. So she's gone. His son is gone. And he's losing his mind in the hospital. But again, this would be a stressor for any parent. Any parent.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, I can understand both sides of the situation. I mean, obviously you have him, he's trying to keep his boy alive by any means necessary. And the mother, obviously she's not on a killing spree. She's not in a rush to pull a plug, but at the same time, she's thinking about long term, his quality of life. Do I want him to suffer for the rest of his life, or do I want to do the humane thing and end the misery?
Right, right.
So I mean, it's like I hope that anybody ever has to have answered this kind of question, because that's brutal. That's fucking brutal.
Yeah,
I
it is.
wish this kind of misery on my worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly. And then it jumps into 1981, where Whitey really starts fucking taking over. And I mean taking over. Now he did get slapped with a little fine that got swept under the rug. Actually, let me see here. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna excuse me. Find out. But yeah, in 1981. This is when Whitey Bulger starts really taking the fucking reins over. He wins a lottery and ends up sharing his $14 million lottery prize with people, and he makes the papers. He was John Gotti before John Gotti, but he was only big in the Boston area. You know, Gotti was huge. Gotti made news everywhere, but this was Boston area big. And he started giving, in 1981, he finally started giving Connolly some things, and Connolly starts moving up too in the FBI. Now, during this time, Whitey Bulger in 1981 starts becoming very tight with the Highlight guys down in Miami. Now, anyone who... Highlight is probably one of the most corrupt sports in South Florida. Seriously, it is. It's one of the most corrupt sports in South Florida. He starts getting involved in that. So it's been corrupt forever, obviously. This is 1981 where he's getting into this. But right before this time, I just said Connolly started moving up in the FBI. He didn't move up until his boss started laying into him about Whitey Bulger. He's getting reports of Whitey Bulger doing this, killing people, doing all kinds of crimes, yet they've got no information. Suddenly, Whitey Bulger starts pouring information into these guys. They're taking down all kinds of fucking people. And Connolly just start moving up. He's like a fucking superhero in the FBI after Whitey starts giving him information, basically. You know. But again, every time they get something for Whitey Bulger, it gets swept under the rug. And this is another part that really kind of messes with Whitey. They're down in South Florida at a little bar down there, doing some highlight business, and there's a guy there with them that they're doing business with, and they start saying, "Oh, this guy is a big problem. He's a big, someone took over highlight, and the guy's not a pushover." And they say, this Kenneth guy, he's not a pushover. He's not going to sell. And here, let me go to this part, actually, because to hear him say it is different.
Okay.
Give me one sec here.
Bag, I want you to have it.
Maybe balloon that over here. So what's the problem with this Wheeler guy? What's his deal?
He's got CPAs crawling all up my ass. All over the books. Checking every fucking thing. The cash flow, the free meals, the parking lot receipts. Just a matter of time before he finds out how much cash is missing.
Just make him an offer for the company.
Tried. Won't sell.
Would his widow sell?
Okay. That's the line. Would his widow sell? half a fucking second it took this guy to go, this guy's dead.
Wow.
That's how fucking quick it can happen. And you don't even know it. He didn't even know it. But there was a guy there. I'm trying to get his name here.
Keep printing money. I mean, what's to connect you to anything
I think
that
it was
happens
Richie,
to
but
you?
I want to make
It's
sure.
in
real
Tulsa,
quick.
for fuck's sake.
Everybody knows we have World Highlight.
Yeah, I believe the guy's name was Kenneth Wheeler, and they were really trying to keep the, because they were making.
Ryan.
Here.
Take the bag. I want you to have it.
Gives this guy a bag of what I think it was $50,000.
Uh-huh.
Basically, he's trying to tell the guy, take the fucking money, shut up, you didn't hear a goddamn thing tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Couple days later,
he's found dead.
Wheeler is actually, the highlight guy Wheeler is actually found, not found dead. Broad daylight, gets gunned down middle of a parking lot by one of Bulger's guys. So he's found dead, and this guy's basically this is what tips the FBI. They get a new what is that guy? He's like a district attorney for the FBI. And they get a new one in, and he is basically after Bulger. But before that, let me backtrack. The guy they had there at the bar with them watching the news one night, what does he see? Wheeler has been gunned down in a parking lot. He starts getting all nervous, so where does he go? To the FBI. Luckily, he runs into John Connolly, who starts running interference on this, basically saying the guy is full of shit, he's got nothing, and yeah, this guy does end up dead.
Yeah, but I to backtrack to something you said,
Mm-hmm.
You said, within a half a second he already knew in his mind this guy was dead.
Yep.
And once again, I'm a Goodfellas tie-in. I think all mob guys subconsciously have a sixth sense of when something's not right. Go back to that scene at the diner with Henry and Jimmy.
Yeah.
When he basically told him, I think Jimmy, Jimmy wanted to send Henry down on a trip with Anthony. Basically to make it do a hit. Now, in all the years they had known each other, Jimmy never asked Henry to do something like that because he knew he wasn't that wasn't his thing.
Right.
He would steal, he would rob, but he wasn't a killer. He knew this.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, he's asking him to go down to Florida on a trip. And he said it was at that moment I knew I wouldn't come back alive. And even with Karen, when he was, I got some furs down there. And then she goes halfway down, she peeks, she sees a couple. She knew. I mean, people have if you've been around this shit long enough, you kind of have a sixth sense about when shit ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You just kind of know.
Now, Whitey Bulger was kind of known for not getting his hands dirty much. Obviously, he did a few times in this movie. The guy that was basically going to the FBI informing on him, he killed him himself. Basically went after him in a parking lot with an AR-15, then took out his pistol, put two in his head, and walked away. Walked the fuck away like, who's gonna fucking tell on me?
He didn't run, folks. He walked away.
Yeah. Strutted the fuck away. B-Megs in the chat said he's never heard of this movie. B-Megs, I hadn't heard of this movie either. It showed up on my cable, and I hit info, checked it out, decided to watch it, and it's all about where my family is from. So I put the IMDb in the chat room there in mixer.com/THD podcast. So check that out. You can get to know the movie a little bit. Let's see. Where should we go next with this? Now, here's another little part. They do finally get Angulo through Whitey Bulger's. Now, according to the FBI, Bulger actually told the FBI where to put the bugs where they would hear the most information in the Angulo's place. So that's, according to the FBI, that's how they got him. Now, again, he didn't consider this informing because they were going against his rival gang.
Yeah.
Taking down that motherfucker, basically, is what they considered this. So what's weird about that, not only did they have ties in Boston, but South Florida, too. So they had ties to both places I lived. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to lay off some of the jokes box just in case.
I just thought of that as I did this. But anyway, and Connolly was becoming more and more friendly. John Connolly, the FBI agent, was becoming more and more friendly with Bulger. And it was really starting to get worrisome to his wife because she could basically tell what kind of guy he was. But now, Anthony, you said you really hadn't finished the movie, correct?
I haven't finished it, but I'm actually watching it in the background as we're talking about it.
Okay. There's a part where Rory Cochrane, who played Steve Flemmi in this movie, he had a stepdaughter. Right. Now, the stepdaughter is a messed up, drugged out prostitute.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, And basically, he's in a car telling Whitey Bulger, look, this chick I've told her a few things, and, oh, by the way, I'm banging her. His stepdaughter, by the way. So he also tells Bulger she may know a couple of things she's not supposed to know. So she gets arrested, and of course, I did say Bulger's a paranoid kind of guy. So he, as being the paranoid guy, starts talking to her. And she's dumb as a fucking stuff. You know what? I kind of want to play this fucking scene.
No, Box, before you play that part, let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
What was it as dumb as, I forgot my hat. I can't get on a plane without my hat.
No.
So what did I do? I had to take her home and get a fucking hat.
No, this is more Kelly Bundy stupid. Yeah. This is more Christina Applegate, Married with Children stupid. Let me just play a little bit of this, just so you can realize how stupid she is.
I have a few questions.
Sure. What do you want to know?
What did you just talk about?
Me?
Yeah, you.
With who?
Deborah, sweetheart, you just spent the fucking night in a camp.
Yeah.
Okay, so where the fuck did you sleep last night?
There.
And what the fuck is that?
Police station.
And who would you be talking to in a goddamn police station, Deborah?
The police?
Okay, I'd already want to kill this bitch. I don't blame Whitey at this point.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
At this point, I'm kind of like, you know what? He's got a point right now. Anyway, let me play a little more here.
Exactly. So what did the police say to you? And what did you say back to them?
Nothing much. The usual.
What is the fucking usual? I don't know the usual. What's the fucking usual?
Drugs are bad. Prostitution's illegal. Shit like that.
Okay. So, again, I'm kind of with him here. But anyway, he gets paranoid enough to where basically he tells them, okay, we're going to take you. We got you a house, a little place to stay for a while. We're going to take care of you. Brings her into a house, starts showing her around the house, brings this stepdaughter into a bedroom. Whitey doesn't hesitate, immediately gets her in a chokehold and kills her.
Yep.
And kills her. And to show you how calm this man can be after this. This is what he says. Let me get to that part. After she's, she struggles. But this is what he says to Rory McCarker, Steve Lemmy.
Clean up your fucking mess. I'm taking a nap. We got dinner at Connolly's in an hour.
Clean up your fucking mess. I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah. This might not be politically correct, but I actually picture Chris Benoit walking into the room, looking at Nancy and doing that throat slashing gimmick that he used to do before he pulled the trigger.
Yeah, this...
Yeah, but all jokes aside,
it shows you what a cold-hearted psychopath this man was. Yeah. And, again, paranoid. If he thought for a minute you could tie him to a crime, you were dead. Dead. Now, we also just heard him say, don't forget we have dinner at the Connollys in an hour. That was John Connolly he's talking about. The scary part in this is when... Let me get to this part. Hold on here. Let me see where I'm at. Here, I'll play this for you.
That is one of the best goddamn steaks I ever had in my life. Ever. I got a knife over here.
Now, he's at a Connolly's, and there's another FBI agent there with him, and he's basically asking him, wow, what's in this steak? Because it's fucking amazing. Now, here you go.
Oh, come on. What's the family secret recipe?
It's ground garlic and a little bit of soy.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought it was a family secret.
Anthony, what are you doing?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Did you just get on a bus? What the fuck was that? All right, back to the scene.
It's your recipe.
No. You said to me, this is a family secret. And you gave it up to me. Boom. Just fucking like that. Don't look to John, because he's not going to fucking help you. You spill the secret family recipe today, maybe you fucking spill about me tomorrow. Is that something maybe that's a possibility?
I was just saying.
You were just saying. Just saying gets people sent to Allenwood. Just saying got me a 9-year stretch in Leavenworth and Alcatraz. You understand? So, just saying could get you buried real fucking quick.
Okay. Now, he said he was kidding with the guy, but I would need new pants right around now if that was this man speaking to me like that.
Definitely.
I would shit my fucking pants. And, he's basically, oh, I'm joking, no big deal. But, yeah, what a holy scary. Whole fuck would I be scared as shit if that ever happened to me, man.
Wow. I'm sorry about that, folks, but yeah, that was a scary fucking scene. Yeah. But it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy is so open to talk about a so-called family secret or anything that's supposed to be kept in confidence,
yeah,
question him about other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a comment. Obviously, not to the level of getting killed, but when you're dealing with a guy like Whitey, you probably should try to keep certain things close to the vest.
Yeah, probably. This is at the point where, like I said, Connolly's wife knows what's going on. She can sense this is an evil guy. And he goes upstairs and starts talking to his wife, and it's really creepy, this scene, too. I don't need to play it, but, I mean, he's right in her personal space. It's a scary, intense conversation. It's another part where you thought, holy shit, he might kill this chick, too. But
and they probably had the music going too. I can only imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's stroking her hair. She's shaking, and basically she wouldn't come to dinner with him, and Connolly's like, oh, she doesn't feel good. She went upstairs. So, it's a very scary part. But this is definitely, I would recommend this movie 100 times to anybody. And, it was the U.S. attorney. They got a new U.S. attorney. The FBI sort of had the other U.S. attorney in their pocket, and he actually ended up being indicted on a bunch of charges. Crazy, huh? And, I mean, Connolly walks in and tries to hand him, Red Sox tickets, which... I'll be honest, in Boston, Red Sox tickets are hard to get. Oh, yeah.
You serious, boss?
Yep, I am. They are not fucking easy to get, Red Sox, especially back in these days. Back in the early 80s, holy shit. So he's, the U.S. attorney won't, and this is, by the way, the U.S. attorney is the NYPD Blue reference, just so you know, that's him. And he won't budge, he won't bite. And basically he starts asking questions about Whitey. Matter of fact, I'm right here. Let me go ahead and play this scene for you.
About that, Clemens is on the mountain,
I'm sure about that.
The other agents.
Here we go.
Do you have a case for me, Agent Connolly?
No, I just came here to introduce myself. A couple of local boys moving up the ranks. Maybe we can help each other along. Yeah.
Bring me cases. That's all the help I need.
Obviously, there you see that he's not budging or biting on his,
I'll leave you to it.
Forwardness there. But here we go.
Hey, since you're here, how come no one has nailed Whitey Bulger?
Oh, no. That won't work. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Excuse me?
Oh, what's Bulger done? He's a small-time hood, but he's an invaluable asset.
What's he done? Everything, evidently. Drugs, extortion, murder. I'd heard rumors, but these other informant reports make it clear. Here's the thing. Every time we start a formal investigation, poof, goes away. He slips free. How do you account for that?
I don't know. Luck of the Irish?
Luck of the Irish. That's what you're going with.
No. It's slander and lies from his brother Billy's political opponents. These fucking assholes from Cambridge, they will do anything to bring Billy down because they can't stand power.
Okay, this is where Bulger starts becoming on shaky ground. This U.S. attorney basically has a hard-on for Whitey Bulger. He's not backing down. He's not giving up. Matter of fact, he starts going pretty much around the FBI, which the U.S. attorney can do. He doesn't really need the FBI. He's there to work with the FBI. He starts going around him and taking statements from people that are, not going to the FBI, but going direct to the local police, and they're calling the state's attorney on him. At one point, this is where they really start, but they do really start closing in on Bulger at this point, because this U.S. attorney just got no slow down button. So they start going after him bad, and they end up with like I said, he starts going around. Here, let me see something. Bulger, and finds one informant.
Give us some big fish.
Evidence?
Pictures and sound.
The FBI know anything about this?
No, but call them if you want.
Absolutely not.
Can you get me into witness protection?
That's what you have.
I have Whitey Bulger.
So Whitey Bulger took a piece of everything you made.
What, are you fucking kidding me?
Every person Whitey Bulger was extorting ended up basically ratting on Whitey Bulger. Every single one of them. And not to the FBI, to this U.S. attorney who had a hard-on for Whitey Bulger. And literally, he's sitting there fucking smiling the whole time, knowing he's got Bulger by the balls at this point. They start...
Now, let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Was the smile quite as evil as the smile that Henry got from that one cop in Goodfellas towards the end?
No, not really.
Now, that was an evil fucking smile.
That was. Gotcha, dickhead. Bye-bye, dickhead. Love that fucking line. At this point, him and Connolly meet. Connolly's basically saying, we're both wanted men at this point. Connolly does get indicted on many charges. Basically for covering Whitey Bulger, everything. But John Connolly, his FBI handler, does end up getting indicted. From the testimony of these guys, and that U.S. attorney takes Whitey down. And this is where the movie starts ending. Whitey's brother Billy actually ended up leaving Senate, became chancellor of a university in Boston. They ended up arresting. He was forced to resign when it was revealed that he had been in touch with Whitey when he was on the run. We mentioned he was on the run. As soon as all this went down, he took off. He was gone. So his brother did get in pretty much his brother was non-existent, just stayed there. John Connolly elected not to testify against Bulger, convicted of second-degree murder in the death of John Callahan, which was one of the guys that was caught trying to inform on Whitey, and he was associated with it. He got 40 years. John Connolly, 40 years in prison. I believe he passed away in prison. Then we go to Steve Flemmi, who also informed. I believe he only got like 6 or 7 years. But we said Whitey Bulger finally caught after 12 years, June 22nd, 2011. Finally caught in Santa Monica, California. Finally caught. Yep, and still kicking to this day. So, but Steve Flemmi pled guilty to 10 murders. And let's see, 1995, he was on the run from 1995, Whitey Bulger, until 2011. That's a good run out of there. His right-hand man, Kevin, actually only got 5 years after testifying against Bulger. He got 5 years in federal prison. The guy who killed the highlight guy only got 12 years for also took a plea bargain. And he and Kevin Weeks actually are out of jail now and still walking in Boston. John Morris was the other FBI agent. He got very nervous when the U.S. attorney started coming down on him and gave complete testimony against his FBI colleagues and John Connolly. Basically, he got granted immunity. He walked on all his crimes. And Stephen Fleming did serve. He pleaded guilty to 10 murders, served a life sentence actually, and is in an undisclosed location.
Ah, shit.
Yep. But Whitey is in prison right now. But again, I really wanted to do this movie for the kind of for some of the tie-ins my family had to it. Number one, like I said, my grandfather hung out at the bar where Whitey used to hang out and all that stuff. But according to all of the associates of Whitey Bulger, Johnny Depp did an amazing job playing him. In an interview on Jimmy Kimmel in 2003, Johnny Depp admitted that he broke his rule of not watching his own movies with this one. He was at the film's debut in Venice. He was about to skip out watching the film, but the director asked him to stay, so he did. So he has watched this movie and said it was his favorite film that he's done so far. So, you know, I really enjoyed this film. Obviously, the Boston references reminded me of being a kid, but the film itself was very well made. Anthony's been bringing up Goodfellas a little bit. This really has, and it's not a Martin Scorsese movie, but it's very well done, like a Martin Scorsese movie.
And I'm gonna say this in the movie with the makeup department, you know who Johnny Depp actually looks like?
Who?
See if this name rings a bell to you. Fred Dryer.
Oh, jeez.
Tell me, like, just look at any of the promotional posters.
Hey, he does a little bit.
See a little bit of Hunter in them.
Yeah, he does a little bit. Black Mass did actually excellent in the theaters. And I'm surprised I didn't hear of this movie either, but it actually ended up grossing about $62.6 million in there. The budget was estimated at 53. The box office was 99.8 million. That's from Weebs in the chat room. So this movie definitely did make some big fucking money.
Yeah.
Did good. I don't know why I never heard of it, never saw it. I guess the name doesn't really promote what the movie is, which might be a problem. But this movie was incredibly well done. I can see some shades of Goodfellas in this movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot.
Really?
I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but yeah, just from just like little, mannerisms, things that are said, the way certain scenes play out. Like for example, the scene we had brought up earlier, where the guy had got a little drunk, got into a little fight with Whitey, and then the next day, I guess he tried to make amends. Hey, I got out of control. I was drinking a little bit too much, and then Whitey said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay." You know what scene that reminded me of? Almost to a T, but on a smaller scale. Joe Pesci and Billy Bats.
Yeah.
Except the only difference is we weren't talking about a made guy, but it wasn't as dramatic as that scene, but that's the kind of vibe I got from it.
Yeah. And obviously everyone said that, again, I've said it before, but everyone said that Johnny Depp did an incredible job playing Whitey Bulger. But, yeah, I mean, Whitey Bulger actually ended up in... he is in prison right now, believe it or not. Like I said, they caught him in 2011. He is finally in prison. It was amazing, though, that they caught this guy. Just dumb luck. To be on the run that long and finally get caught.
Hell of a run. I mean, you can't, honestly... even if you're, Christian, goody two shoes, down with evil people like Whitey Bulger, you gotta actually stand back and really kind of respect the game a little bit and say this man escaped for over 4 decades without getting caught. That's a hell of a run.
Yeah.
And you got to figure now, not to get morbid here, the fact that man is 87 in prison, he's going to die in jail.
Yeah.
But he basically spent the better part of his good years a free man.
Jeez. Yeah, and I mentioned that thing about the state lottery. This was in the summer of 1991 where they won the lottery. They all shared $14 million was the lottery back then. Man, imagine that shit. And I mean, the movie starts in 1975. He went all the way until 1995 running shit protected by the FBI. 20 years protected by the FBI, doing whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they wanted. Murder, drugs, extortion, every other crime you can think of, these guys were fucking doing, protected by John Connolly and the FBI. But that goddamn U.S. attorney, man, threw a monkey wrench in the whole fucking situation, man.
Yeah.
He did. He started getting basically he was gathering intel behind the back of John Connolly and everybody, and basically he had all of them. He had them all.
No.
He had them all. What?
Well, let me ask you, with this particular U.S. attorney, and like in general, why do you think it is certain like people in positions of power like this get a bug up their ass about certain individuals?
I really think the U.S. attorney just was wondering why every case of Whitey Bulgers got swept under the fucking rug. And then
one question led to a lot of other questions.
I think he put two and two together and realized that Connolly, being from Southie, again, South Boston, really thought that, I see what's going on here. He's protecting another Southie. And he just figured it out and then went after him, man. But this was also Johnny Depp's fourth role in playing a real-life gangster. He portrayed Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco, George Young in Blow, and Dillinger in Public Enemies, which I haven't seen that movie either, but I have it.
Johnny Depp, this man has gone from a pirate to a gangster.
Look, I've said this before. I know a lot of people complain about Johnny Depp. Oh, he ruined this movie. He ruined that movie. I personally, I like Johnny Depp. I really think he's very good in the parts he plays. I think he gets into them. But I know a lot of people complain, oh, he ruined Willy Wonka for me. Well, Willy Wonka was a different movie. You want to fucking not ruin it? Watch Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder. Shut up. But originally he had left this project due to some salary issues, but he did later return to do this lead role, which I'm glad he did, because I really think this movie fit him so well. Fit him so goddamn well. All right, B-Megs, what one movie did he ruin? Let's go ahead and come on, B-Megs. What movie did he ruin? Tell me while I'm talking about this. Guy Pearce was originally cast as Whitey Bulger, but dropped out for reasons that no one knows. I'm trying to get a few of these things in the beating. By the way, the word fuck in this movie 254 times.
They got a ways to go, but pretty good.
According to director Scott Cooper, the original runtime for the film was close to 3 hours, but cut down because he thought some of the pacing issues in the movie were too iffy. So this project was actually shelved when Johnny Depp dropped out, but when Johnny Depp agreed to return, they started it back up. Leonardo DiCaprio's influence actually contributed to, obviously we talked about it, the movie The Departed, contributed to Scott Cooper wanting to do this movie to branch out from The Departed and show some of the some of the things going on in Boston at the time, the same time as the movie The Departed. Yeah, I gotta watch Public Enemies, man, because it's again Depp and Rory Cochrane about John Dillinger. So I need to watch that movie too.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm gonna do some research. Because I was for a little while I was on Daily Motion and YouTube. I had actually found some old mob documentaries that I hadn't watched in years. Remember how A&E used to run them?
Yeah, you do. All right. B-Mix says that he ruined Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, realize he wasn't taking over the Willy Wonka, the Gene Wilder, which I hold that movie close to my heart. I love that movie. Very much. I really love the movie Willy Wonka. It's a great movie. I will always love it. Johnny Depp did the novel Willy Wonka was based on the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So Johnny Depp did a different version of it, more based on the book, which is why I can separate the two. Willy Wonka is a great movie on its own. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was good movie on its own too. So I don't believe he ruined a franchise. I don't believe he ruined Willy Wonka. They didn't name the movie Willy Wonka for a reason.
Yeah.
Obviously. But it was based on the book more than the other movie. And let's face it, you could do more with graphics, CGI, and all that. Willy Wonka was a 1970s movie, so I don't know. I really don't. I don't believe he ruined the franchise. I believe he made a new version of it, and I didn't like it. But I do enjoy it. It's a movie I'll watch. I'll always watch. I don't care where I am, what I'm doing. If Willy Wonka is on, I'll turn to the channel and watch it. But I just don't believe he really ruined the franchise. I believe if he was going to ruin the franchise, they would have called that movie fucking Willy Wonka.
Yeah, exactly. And now that to that point, basically, a franchise can only be ruined when you try to deliberately make a newer version of the same shit.
Right.
So here's perfect example. Before Robin Williams, rest in peace, passed away, he had a lot of projects in the work, including they were hinting at a sequel to Mrs. Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know about you, Box, but I saw that movie when I was a kid. I fucking love Mrs. Doubtfire.
I still do.
Now, same here. Now, rumor has it that they're still going to go forward with the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with that because Robin Williams was like when you're basically taking a character that is so synonymous with one person and you try to recreate that same that's where you fuck up.
Yeah, I agree.
If you call it anything else but Mrs. Doubtfire, or, make it about her cousin or a sister or a long lost relative, that's one thing. But when you call it Mrs. Doubtfire and say, okay, this is Mrs. Doubtfire, but instead of Robin Williams, we're going to get Brad Pitt, it's not the same movie. That's when you're pissing on the legacy of something.
Yeah, I agree with that. B-Mix even bringing up, he has a problem with remakes or similar movies to an old original, and he brings up Wizard of Oz. I saw Oz the Great and Powerful with James Franco. I had no problem with it. I thought it was another take on the movie, again, more based on the novel than the actual movie, but not a remake, an updated version. I have no problems with updated versions. I really don't. Not all of them are going to be great, but listen, you can always have the original movie in your heart, and I totally understand that because I do. Like I said before, if Willy Wonka's on one channel and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's on, I'm going to turn to Willy Wonka. If the original Wizard of Oz is on one channel and Oz the Great and Powerful, I'm going to turn to the original Wizard of Oz. But some people don't. Some people don't even know. My kids have never seen the original Wizard of Oz yet. But they've seen the Oz and Great and Powerful because I was watching it and my kid liked it. And I said, one day we're going to sit and watch the original. Just so
the 1939 version, yeah.
Yeah, just so he has the comparison. I have it.
Now, since we're on the subject of the Wizard of Oz, now you have the original version, the Judy Garland version from 1939. Now, obviously, it's a little different, has a little bit of a twist on it.
Okay.
What do you think about the one from the 70s with Michael Jackson, Richard Pryor? A lot of people consider that a classic.
The Wiz.
The Wiz, yes.
Which is, that's Michael Jackson, that's Donna Summer, Nipsey Russell. I enjoy that movie. I like it. It's if that movie is on, I'm gonna watch it too.
Yeah, same thing. But once again, I don't consider that a ripoff as much as you take a class and you put a spin on. You put your own spin on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know
that's what that was. So that's why I don't put that in the same category.
I know.
I'm just saying where you sit with that.
It's another movie people complain about though. Oh, it's just a black version of the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. True, but it was another take on it, and I enjoy the movie. I think some of the songs in that movie are incredible. Ease on Down the Road, listening to Michael. Come on, Michael Jackson was in that goddamn movie.
Yeah,
and
come on. We're not talking about everything else, but just on musical talent alone, Michael Jackson is a national fucking treasure, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I agree, and I do love watching The Wiz. It's a little creepier. It's a little, and I am not trying to be weird here, racial. It's a darker version of The Wizard of Oz, and I'm not meaning that in a racial way. Watch that movie. It is, dude, they have some creepy parts in that movie.
Yeah.
Really creepy. And that's what I mean. I guess I should have just said the word creepy. But it's a different take on the movie, and I have zero issues with it. I actually really enjoy watching The Wiz. It's a very well-made movie. Nipsey Russell's voice in that movie is great. I'm blanking on who played the lion, but
Richard Pryor. Oh no, I'm not.
No, Richard Pryor was the wizard.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but a great movie. I love that adaptation of the movie. I really do. I'll watch it anytime. I really will. I like The Wiz. I think it's an excellent made movie. All the singers in there are amazing. The song, the Ease on Down the Road with Michael Jackson singing it, and the crows in that movie are hilarious. I enjoy the movie, and my kids have seen it with me too. My older one.
Since we're going down this road, I'm going to throw out another random little tidbit for you. Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of the Three Stooges?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit that I still watch the Three Stooges to this day. What was your favorite lineup?
Curly, Moe, Larry.
Okay. Did you think Shemp was an adequate fill? I mean, he was the original. He was actually a part of the original lineup. But did you think, like, when Curly got sick and he had to kind of step aside, you think he was an adequate fill-in?
I think.
He brought a different style to it, obviously.
He was more of an addition later than in the beginning.
Okay.
Weird, strangely, but I really thought he was a better addition when he came back, as to when he was the original. But yeah, I have not seen the new Three Stooges movie, so
I haven't. It has its moments. Will Sasso, God bless him, is probably the best part of the movie, but it's a weird movie. It's basically they basically take the Stooges of the 30s and try to transplant them to the 2000s, and it's funny. It has its moments, seeing guys that kind of didn't come up in this era trying to adapt to it, but it's just kind of off.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, there's certain movies I have a tough time turning on because of my sentimental or childhood holds on things. Three Stooges is one of them. I just
can't watch that movie.
Look, I like Will Sasso, but that dude's sort of a douche, man. He's kind of, I don't know, man.
I mean, like, he's never giving me douche chills. When is he giving you douche chills?
Yeah, look, maybe I'll check that movie out one day, but I don't know.
You having a moment, Boss?
Nah.
Are you triggered right now?
I don't know. And, I agree with B-Megs. The Three Stooges made slapstick comedy famous, and it does still hold up today. But, I just can't watch that new movie. I just can't. My dad is a big Three Stooges fan and loves the Three Stooges. I don't know. Everyone said it, and everyone said it was such a like a joke of a movie.
Yeah, it really was. Like I said, it had its moments, so I can't completely shit on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you were like either, I mean, obviously, I don't know how many people are still around that were actually around when the Stooges were in their heyday. But even if you just watch the reruns as a kid growing up, it doesn't compare. It's a different concept, different genre, but it has its moments. But I can't totally recommend it. 100% is a good movie, but it is what it is.
And by the way, I want to say, I'm shocked. There's a station here playing all of the old All in the Family episodes.
Okay. Popular show. They still air the reruns.
I'm still shocked they let that show play. I'm wondering, what do they edit today is the question.
Well,
what's not? What is not shown?
Well, let me tell you something about editing and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to get back to this point in a second. But you talked about All in the Family. You have a station up. Do you have Bounce out there?
No.
Well, over here in Philly, we got Bounce TV.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the Bill Cosby situation broke, literally they were playing like the Cosby Show. They were playing Cosby, his basically like the new show he did from like 96 to 2000 with Dougie Doug, that type of deal. And then once the scandals hit, they pulled them after like they had only been on for like a couple months, like a month or so. But they pulled them. But they kept getting letters and complaints, and as of December 19th last month, they brought Cosby back.
Okay.
The Cosby Show. So, and obviously it's called The Cosby Show. And obviously Bill Cosby was a big part of the show. So it's not like you can retroactively edit him out of the show because there would be no show. There'd be no show. It'd be like, here's Theo, here's... Why did y'all just jump 20... Why did y'all just jump 10 minutes? So, I mean, so it's like, when there's money to be made... they still play it. I mean, I think sometimes what they'll do is, like, if they say certain words, they might edit it out, or they might shorten it for commercial reasons, but I don't think they actually physically edit the episodes in terms of content.
Yeah, I mean, I watch, obviously I'm a cop show fan. I watch Law and Order, and we have Ion. Ion Station plays all the old Law and Order. If they say the word ass, it's edited. Bitch, edited. And it's like, come on.
Well, that's because Ion is basically, I mean, I don't know if you, in the morning, they play nothing but religious shit, excuse my language, talking about religion, but that's what they do. So they're a religious channel, so that's why they edit that kind of stuff out.
They play infomercials here.
No, I feel they literally play, for like from 6 to 8 or 5 to 9 or whatever, they play all types of religious stuff, 700 Club. I'm like, Jesus.
All I know is they show Blue Bloods every Thursday. So they do. I watch every Thursday because of Blue Bloods, and I watch Mondays and Fridays for Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
But there's some good shows on there.
It's kind of weird watching, like you said. I didn't even think of that, but it's kind of weird watching some old shows and wonder how they were originally meant to be seen and construed. Like, when you look at, like, All in the Family, you look at Jefferson's, you look at Good Times. So many things you could get away with back then that, man. And it's not the censors weren't around. It's not the censors weren't tough on stuff. But it's just like everybody didn't seem to have a bug up their ass and ready to hit that button on you so fucking quick. And then everything wasn't scrutinized.
Mm-hmm.
The FC, if anything, you figure the FCC was a bigger deal in the 70s than they are now, but yet you hear more of them now. You hear more from them now. Like, I don't know if you listened to Suit the other day, but they had read off a couple of FCC complaints that people had with WWE.
Really?
This was fucking hilarious. I'm just going off memory here, and they literally read the letters, and of course these were from bumpkins.
Yeah, of course.
WWE Raw needs to be canceled because and I quote, one of the reasons why they wanted to be canceled was the New Day. They had a problem with the New Day coming out and gyrating their pelvic areas.
I feel penisly inadequate when they shake and gyrate. I don't think I could. If they were beside my wife, I wouldn't compare. Cancel Raw.
And you'll love this one, Box. You'll love this one.
What?
This is going back in the memory bank. But remember back when Rusev was actually relevant as a badass?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they had him do a segment on Raw where he beat the shit out of a supposed military guy?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A guy wrote in to the FCC. His complaint was the character Rusev. He couldn't even get his fucking name right. Should be arrested, and because that's a criminal offense. He beat up an armed force. I can't even say it. But see, this is what we're dealing with in 2017, folks.
Okay. All of wrestling technically is assault and battery. Really, we could arrest every wrestler on assault, battery, slander. You could really arrest every single wrestler in the United States and every other country if you wanted to. If you think it's that real, they're all going to jail. Holy shit.
That should be a crime.
You know,
WWE should be ashamed for still employing.
It should be a crime that I'm able to live on this planet. God damn! I'm sorry. Whoever wrote that letter, I'm gonna say something I usually don't say. Kill yourself. Please, and if you do not, Lord, please never procreate in this world.
Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a lot of other examples I can get, but that's the one, honestly, that caught me off guard. I swear, I just shook my head for about a good 5 minutes listening to that shit. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
I mean, but this honestly, this is where we're at now. Everybody will dissect, and look, we dissect and we pick apart Raw and mock this, that, and the third about the show. But Jesus Christ. Listen. We're at a point now where everything, music, entertainment, movies, wrestling, whatever, everybody is looking for something to get pissed off about. Just shut the fuck up and enjoy it for what it is, or don't fucking watch it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you know what the sad thing is, and I know, you know, this is THD Movie Review. We're originally a wrestling show. It's where we all spawned from. Wrestling is one of the only people that will cow down in a second and apologize for anything. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to offend so-and-so. We didn't mean to offend this one. You don't see these fucking movie companies kowtowing to these people. They stand their fucking ground. Most of the time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man, but you know, listen, if you watch anything on television, it's going to offend you. Anything will eventually, and you know what? It's supposed to offend you. It's television. If it doesn't tug at an emotion, you probably are turning the channel.
Okay.
Really, you are. If it doesn't tug at one emotion, whether it's happy, whether it's sad, whether it... Listen, do I like watching the fucking... The commercials where they're showing abused puppies and dog? No. Do I fast forward through them? I have a hard time doing that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at the puppy. Look. Fuck that asshole. They're pulling at heartstrings. Even during commercials, they're trying to invoke emotion out of you. If a television show is not pulling any emotion out of you, why are you watching it? Why are you watching it?
Okay, yeah. Speaking of, and I'm actually glad we're actually delving into this topic of the easily butthurt, because I had actually hopped on a thread earlier that Joey Numbers started, because I didn't even know this was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, Steve Harvey, everybody knows him. He's in hot water for, quote, racist jokes. Now, obviously, and I made the comment on the thread, Steve Harvey hadn't been edgy in almost 20 years. He's more of a, Christian-based comic now, right? So basically, to give you a little setup here, basically, he had made a comment, and once again, this is a joke, and he was basically making a comment picking on Asian men, saying it's harder for them to date. Okay. Joey, being who he is, he did the research. Basically, if you Google like the most unmarried groups of people in this country, you have Asian men and black women. So he basically made the comment that technically he's not lying about what he's saying.
What did he say? Do you by any chance have the joke?
I'm actually looking it up now. But
yeah, try to get the joke, because look, I've said this before. Comics should never, and I want to stress, never have to apologize for a joke. Because if you don't get it, fuck you.
Yeah. And like I said, I was pissed off about it because I look at it like this. You look at a lot of the great comics, going back to the 60s, your Mom's Mableys, your Red Foxes, your Richard Pryors. Hell, Bill Cosby, before he became Bill Cosby, was edgy. So, I mean, how would these guys would not be able to exist in this today? There would be no Eddie Murphy Raw. There would be no Delirious in 2017. Like, because it would be so many protests. It would be banned. The director would look at that and say, "Oh, we gotta shelve this shit because it would offend too many different groups."
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh my! I actually found it. I'm just looking for a good link to open up here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I really believe that if any comedian who apologizes should just leave. Just don't be a comic. If you're gonna fucking bow to these fucking people who are asking you to apologize for a fucking joke, go fuck yourself too. Do not apologize. Stand up for your fucking self. It was a joke. All of you people with no sense of humor in 2017, fuck off. 2017 needs to be the year of humor. That's what we need to do. We need to make this the year where people get it. Where people just get it. Where no one is offended by a joke. How about 2017? Lighten the fuck up. I like that. You like that, Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2017. Lighten the fuck up, people. I'm with that. I am fucking with that. That's what needs to happen. Lighten up. Let's not be so fucking offended at every little fucking thing and every little
as sick as it is to
joke.
say, I think George Carlin, may he rest in peace, died at the right time, because even him, he couldn't exist in this era.
No, we need.
For one
you're
thing,
wrong. We need
George
a George
Carlin would
Carlin.
apologize for shit, but he would be under attack every other fucking day for everything he said.
Good. We need a George Carlin. We need someone like George Carlin right now to come out and say what no one else wants to say. And you know what? You wouldn't hear George Carlin apologizing.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't apologize for shit.
He wouldn't apologize for a fucking thing he said. I actually wish George Carlin was in his prime right now. Right now is where George Carlin would be the most useful fucking person.
And the funny thing is, before the PC police got to be in the social justice war, before all this shit kind of came down on us the way it has, he was already telling us this shit was going to happen one day.
Dude, you got to remember, this guy's been George Carlin was a comic back in the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been, look, he wasn't just a comic. He was, I would call him a comedic activist.
Okay, I found the Steve Harvey stuff.
Okay,
I'm just going to read this real quick.
Bring it.
So let me see here. On Friday, Steve Harvey got into hot water after he made some race-related jokes, and in the days since, a backlash has brewed online. It all started when Steve opened his show, poking fun at embarrassing dating guides like dating for under $1 and how to date a white woman, a practical guide for Asian men. So we're off to a good start, aren't we? Let me see. Steve joked about the dateability of Asian men, imitating a woman simply stating that she's not interested. Among other comments, his, quote, drunk uncle at Thanksgiving impression immediately became super awkward despite the audience who seemed willing to laugh at anything. When he realized the first person the producers put the spotlight on for the Ask Steve segment was a woman from the Philippines, Steve's face fell. He actually got off the hook pretty easy, though. She would have been justified in taking him to task for hacky jokes stolen from the 50s, but she only told him to eat 12 grapes, not to cut his nails, and to wear polka dots in honor of Philippine traditions. See, the internet, ever the reliable generator of outraged think pieces, picked up the slack. Feel free to guess the tone of the resulting story on the Angry Asian Men blog, and if you go to Twitter and type Steve Harvey into the search bar, one of the top results right now is Steve Harvey Potato Asian Men, in which one person criticized Steve Harvey, comparing his look to that of Mr. Potato Head, and posted his photo alongside those of Asian male models.
Let's see. Is this the
So,
drunk?
I mean, just based off of what I read, without even hearing the context of anything, what do you think about this fucking anger?
Well, I think I have the drunk uncle thing here. No, that's not. This is from 2011. That's not it.
Or just type in. I just typed in Steve Harvey racist joke.
I'm gonna go to YouTube and do it to see if I can find it, because I'd like some audio of this. I always like to hear the context of the person saying it, because let's face it, when you're online, you can type anything you want, and you can be like, "Oh man, this is gonna be funny," and then someone doesn't find it funny. And you're like, if you knew the way I was saying this, you'd understand.
That's why it's like, even when I text, you always got to throw in that LOL so people, hopefully, even if they don't think it's funny, they get that you were joking.
Yeah, something. Let's see. Puts down Asian men, not fond of white. 3 minutes, 35. So let's see what this is. Steve Harvey is a racist douche. The name of this file, Steve Harvey is a racist douchebag.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, let's see here if I can get the comment. Let me see what it says here.
Fucking like Steve Harvey, but it never really had anything to do with.
I'm not listening to some guy's fucking opinion.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Fuck these fucking opinion reaction videos. The most useless waste of time I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, Steve Harvey. Let me try Steve Harvey racist comments. There we go. Now let's see if we can get him. You can make a racial comment and not be a racist. No. God damn you, YouTube. YouTube sucks. I just want to say that. Alright, here we go. Let's see if this is it. This might be it. Might be it, Anthony. Let's see.
Finally, here's one. How to date a white woman, a practical guide.
Okay, this is very low. Give me 1 second. Let me raise some volumes here. Was this on his talk show he did this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't watch, so this is why it was news to me.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Let me just get the volume raised here on the line-in circuit, and I can play this. Here we go. Let's see if this helps.
Asian men.
Can you hear it, Anthony?
Definitely loud and clear.
Okay.
That's one page too. Excuse me. Do you like Asian men? No. Thank you. How to date a black woman. A practical guide to Asian men. Same thing. It's the same thing. You like Asian men? I don't even like Chinese food, boy. It don't stay with you no time. I don't eat what I can't pronounce.
Okay, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It
wasn't funny, but it was. I don't think he was coming from an offensive place with it.
Listen, I got to be honest. I really don't like Steve Harvey at all. I don't find him that funny. When I watch the Kings of Comedy DVD, the two I fast forward through are Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley. I believe D.L. Hughley has no talent.
Damn.
I believe, to me, dude, every joke of his is racial. White people do this, black people do this. Ha. Real funny. I just don't find him funny. I really think his comedy is
one-dimensional.
Very good. Thank you. Great word for it. One-dimensional, and he has no other fucking line from there. He just doesn't. I personally don't like D.L. Hughley. I really can't stand. Some of his political views and other views I do agree with, but when it comes to his comedy, we just don't see eye to eye, you know. But I know lately he's gotten more into the political stuff and other things, which I actually, believe it or not, do agree with him on, like I just said. But when it comes to his comedy, I don't find him funny. I just don't. I don't think any comedian that has to rely on simply racism is funny. White, black, Latino, Carlos Mencia, I don't find funny. Every joke of his is Mexican. Oh, Mexican. I don't find George.
You must hate George Lopez.
I think George Lopez is. I was just about to say it. You literally stole the words out of my fucking mouth. George Lopez, I believe, is the exact same thing. And I understand self-deprecating humor, but I just don't think it's fun. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for
Mix it up a little bit. I mean, I look at it like this, you know. Before I get to the point of like the whole, you know, humor being like subjective and all that, I'll say this. As far as comedy in general, good, bad, or indifferent, I feel like we have to stand up for comedians and comedy in general, because at its core, even if somebody sucks as a comedian, anybody that steps on a stage to tell jokes or tell you a joke is coming from a place of, it's coming from a good place. They want to entertain you. They want to make you laugh. You know what I mean? That's where it's coming from. You might not like the way they go about it, but to get super offended about what is essentially a joke is stupid. Basically, you know, to have all of this outrage over what was essentially a joke. Like, obviously, he wasn't I'm not even a Steve Harvey fan like that, I'll be honest.
Right.
I was, you know, at one point, but with the self-help books and all of this shit, fan, I can't even claim him as a fan anymore. But the thing of it is, it's just like, it's a fucking joke. Lighten the fuck up.
Lighten the fuck up. Exactly. Look, I don't find all that, comedy that I don't find it offensive at all. Just because I don't find any need for it doesn't mean I find it offensive. I'm not sitting there going, oh, I need to, give me Facebook right now. I need to fucking post about this. No, that's not me. That's not what I would do. I just don't, and if I don't care for something, you know what I do? I don't watch it. I know I'm supposed to go on Facebook, complain about it, tell you that I'm offended, and I think am I supposed to start a petition, Anthony? An online petition, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Fund me or go fuck yourself.
You know what? That takes too much fucking time. Just don't watch it. Again, 2017, lighten up. Lighten the fuck up. I think that should be the motto for lighten the F up. 2017. I hope everyone hashtag lighten the fuck up 2017.
Yeah. And to your point, like, I never really looked at it like that, but you're right. I do kind of like the comedies that have that versatility, that don't, like you said, the relying on your race and racial topics is kind of a crutch. It's kind of like, once again, I feel like this is going to be like the Bill Cosby episode, but
no.
Even though his name is shit now, part of his brilliance as a comedian when he was doing his thing was the fact that he could actually make jokes out of the most simplistic of things. I woke up today and I went to the dentist.
Yeah.
and like shit like that, relatable shit. That's why people. I mean, I didn't think that was funny. I thought he was funny from the reaction standpoint. That's why I like the guy. He's funny in reation type situations.
You see,
playing other people to play off of. But if you look at what made him funny, that's what made him funny.
It was, and I find Bill. I don't mind his comedy. I actually enjoy Bill Cosby's comedy, and I can separate his comedy from the person he is now. And this is where I believe society has an issue. Separating things. People clump a lot of things into one big ball. Okay, his comedy's not funny anymore because he did this. Let me just throw some people out here. Mel Gibson's movies aren't good anymore because he made fun of Jewish people. Does that make his movies bad if you enjoyed them before? Seriously?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but let me just finish here. But as a society, we like to just glom everything together. Well, even though he did this great, he fucked up. And because he fucked up, I glom it all together, and I make him a bad person. No, you're allowed to still enjoy the things that you enjoy from that person, no matter if they showed themselves to be a complete, whether it be a racist or whatever it is, you can still enjoy the work they did and not be a piece of shit, even though we believe as a society we have to hate everything in order to be liked by other people. Who gives a fuck? Mel Gibson had some great fucking movies. And you know what? He made fun of my tribe, my people, Jews. He sat there and trashed us and said, media's all run by Jews, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'll still watch fucking Lethal Weapon.
I love Lethal fucking Weapon. All of them.
Well, you're not fucking Jewish. But, you have to separate some things. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just, a weird guy, and I have a weird thing where I can just separate people. But, okay, yeah, Mel Gibson made fun of Jews. Oh, well. Life sucks.
Yep.
He did it. You know what, though? Like I said, I'll still watch his movies. I have zero issue with his movies. I'll still watch movies after I don't care. I know he's not getting much work, but it doesn't matter. Comedians should be the same way. If a comic offends you, that's fine. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Be offended on your own. Some things offend me. Yeah, I've got a microphone. I can say sometimes things offend me. But even some of those things, I just shut the fuck up because it's not my place. But anyway, I'm not sure if you remember what you were going to say, but please proceed.
Oh, no, I'm just going to say this. Like, we were talking about George Carlin earlier. And I feel like he fits this conversation to a T. He once made this, I wish I had the exact quote, but he basically made a statement along the lines of anything could be funny. Anything could be made a joke out of, even rape. You can make a joke out of anything. So I think, it's all in how you look at it. Like some people, it's weird, but some people, that's how some people work through things. I've been to funerals where you'll have that one person cracking jokes, and then you'll have some people looking, oh, that's disrespect. That's just their way of working through it. A week later, you might see them crying their eyes out. Right. But on the day in question, they lost their loved one, family member, best friend for 20, 30 years or whatever. On that day, it's like, hey, that's their way of working through it.
No, I agree. By the way, we have a surprise for everyone. The man, co-founder of this THT franchise we're in, Shaheen, is on the line.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? What's up, bro?
Same old shit, man. I just woke up from a nap. I figured I'd tune in since you guys are talking about racism a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. What's on your mind, man?
I literally just tuned in. I just heard racism, so I figured I'd start off. With you just talking about it.
Well, do you want to join in the racism, or do you want to fight against the racism?
It really depends, man. I don't know. I mean, you got guys like Artie Lang and Howard Stern, where you could say it's racist. I mean, they make racist jokes, but it's in a funny manner. You know what I mean? It's not, and at least they're fair about it. Like South Park, it's racist, but they make fun of every race, so you can't really say that they're necessarily discriminating. I mean, the founders were both gay guys, and they make fun of gay people all the time.
But can't we just have jokes and laugh at them anymore? You know what I mean? I understand people are offended by jokes. Some joke, like Anthony was just saying, for a joke to be a joke, someone has to be offended by it.
You know what does offend me though?
What?
To be honest, is when somebody makes a racist joke and they're not even funny about it. Now that's just irritating.
Look, look, I'm not saying every racist joke is funny, because some of them do go a little too far. And again, I said before, context. Anthony, remember I said I like to hear context of people telling jokes. Yeah. Sometimes people tell jokes in the context where, holy shit, that's just mean. That's a mean joke. All right, your context there is not nice, not funny.
Hey, not to throw the guy under the bus or anything, but a perfect example that comes to my mind of a guy that makes a lot of racist subliminal jokes that are terrible and not funny is Don Tony. Being 100% honest, like the guy, he sneaks in a lot of racist jokes, and I find zero of them funny.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't listened to him enough to catch him, but
like for example, his last show starts to show off with what do we got here? A couple of terrorists, and he's talking about like Rusev and them, and it's like, I mean, if you make it funny, like fine, but like it's like really, like you just start off the show with that, it's not even funny.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I mean,
it's just not funny. Like if you made it funny, then it's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and funny.
I'm not saying you can't make fun of the guy, but at least there's got to be some depth to it. You gotta build up the joke. When there's no punchline to the joke, then it's like, well, what the fuck,
Yeah. Now let me ask you, Shaheen. When you hear someone like Mel Gibson gets in trouble for the. Can you separate like the asshole Mel Gibson from the movie Mel Gibson doing a movie? Can you still watch his movies and be like, that's a good movie?
Mel Gibson would be a bad example because I never liked the guy, but a perfect example is Hulk Hogan.
Okay, there you go.
I can still watch Hulk Hogan matches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never really enjoyed them to begin with, but I don't know. I think you can separate it, you know?
And I think you should. And you know, I'm going to, since Anthony mentioned this a lot earlier, look, there's certain points to where there's an extreme, like, you know, Chris Benoit, can I still separate that he had some good matches? Yeah, but the guy is a complete, total, absolute piece of garbage.
Right. You can't deny he had good matches, so yeah, you can separate, but he's a piece of shit.
Absolutely. So. And I mean, look, I get he was a wrestler. It's the same thing as acting. Wrestling is acting. I don't know if anyone's realized that by now.
Right.
Has anyone? I'm sure most people listening have. So it's really kind of a, you know, good tie-in. But I mean, yeah, the guy could do a good suplex, but he was still a complete waste of human trash.
I can watch the match, but I can still watch his matches, but right after watching them, I don't feel compelled to get on Facebook and write a fucking 12-page paragraph about it, a 12-page essay about how Chris Benoit is a great wrestler. And yeah, sure, he did some fucked up thing. I just don't. What pisses me off is how people can casually, he killed some people, but yeah, he was a hell of a wrestler. That's what irritates me about how they write about. They just kind of like brush that aside casually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, BMX in the chat brings up Floyd Mayweather. He's, you know, I understand Mayweather's a piece of shit person, but damn, he's a good boxer. Yeah, he is. And there's tons of people out there that are complete pieces of shit in real life that we don't even know about yet. Sure. Eventually, Hollywood, TMZ will bring it out eventually. Trust me. But, yeah.
Might have a great example on your hands coming up in a few days, man. I mean, Donald Trump, complete piece of shit. If in 4 years he ended up being a great president, you can easily separate that. I know I can. I'll never like the guy personally, but if he's good, he's good, which I doubt. He's going to be shit, but, you know.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't in the mood for politics tonight. So on that, I'll just say, let's just see what the fuck happens in the next few months, and we'll go from there.
D.L. Hughley,
he
shits on him on a daily basis on his Instagram.
I said, you know, certain things D.L. Hughley and his political views I do agree with, but I can't stand him as a comic. I can't stand him as a comic. And you know what, Steve Harvey is a good person. He's a shitty comic, in my opinion. That doesn't mean he's not a good person. I don't, you know, listen, it's just that way. Some people, I just don't care for what they do. If they're good people, great. That's awesome. I love good people. You know, that's what you should be doing. If you have the money to be, you know, contributing to charities and a good person, awesome. I don't have the money, but, you know, if you're a shitty comic, in my opinion, what I believe is funny, again, that's my opinion, I think you're a shitty comic. I'm glad you're a good person. I appreciate that, but, you know, shitty is shitty to me. But I can definitely separate and appreciate the person you are for what you do. And everyone should be able to. Like I said, Shaheen, I think 2017 should be the year of lighten the fuck up. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 2016 should have started that.
Yeah, but I think we need to really put it out to 2017, lighten the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think 2017 is going to be a year of a lot of racial tension between Americans. To be honest with you, you're already starting to see it. I think people will lighten up as far as being PC because they're, you know, the president is going to be like, he has no filter. You know, he's going to be uncensored. So people are going to feel more comfortable to come out of the shell and say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long that's going to last, man.
What scares me about Trump is, let's be honest, whenever somebody says something about him, especially on Twitter, he instantly replies.
Yeah, he's got to stop that.
Think about that shit for a minute. Say what you want about Obama and, him being like, Saturday Night Live and doing all the shit he was doing. But at his core, he still came across as a very intelligent, articulate human being that didn't engage people online. Mm-hmm. So just imagine having a president of this country. People already think he's a joke as is.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have a guy, anytime somebody says something about him, he's going to get on Twitter and bitch about it.
Keyword human being.
Yeah. I really think once once the inauguration takes place, you're going to see a different Donald Trump. They are going to form him, mold him, and turn him into you're going to see a robot Trump soon. I really believe that.
Nah,
I could be wrong, and let me tell you what. If I'm wrong, they're going to find a way to impeach this fucking guy.
I think he's going to do his 4 years, and he's going to be unfiltered, and he's going to get himself in some shit. The Republicans are going to hate him.
Well,
they already do, but
I 100% agree with you that I think we're going to have a very tough year if he doesn't start getting filtered with racism, hate, and it's going to be not only a tough year, but a tough 4 years. So let's hope they do rein his ass in, turn him into Robo-Prez Trump, and tell him, you can't do this, you can't say that. This, you stay on fucking script and you say this. Yeah. And if not, I'm a little worried. I'm a little bit worried. But, all you can do is wait and see what happens, but I really feel we're going to get a different Trump once that inauguration happens. I do. I think they're going to fucking really, to put the whip to him, for lack of a better fucking term, and rein him in. And if I'm wrong, goddamn, there's going to be a fucking sea of concealed weapons permits.
Yeah, that's definitely if you got people already getting pulled out their cars because of who they decide to support politically.
Yeah. I mean, it's already a little bit scary right now, but it's becoming a reality to people. But while we're on this, can I don't think I'm going to rant, but let me just say this: all the celebrities out there that are that are anti-Trump and making these videos and saying they're going to leave this country, stop. You do not go through any of the fucking problems that us real people go through that are living check to fucking check. You are not going through the same problems we are. You people are high on your fucking horses. You people have money to do what you want. You can go where you want. Not all of us in this fucking country do. You people making these fucking, you actors making these fucking videos are doing nothing but making us want to go against you. Against you. I'm sorry. I can't stand it. The fucking Golden Globes, I didn't watch much of it, but every speech was political, and I say fuck these actors that are making political speeches. You're entertainers. Elvis had the brains to say, I'm an entertainer, no one wants to hear what I have to say on politics. That was back in the 1970s, and it should still apply today. So, to all you actors making videos that you're against Trump, you're going to leave this fucking country, bye. Have a nice fucking trip. Go fuck yourselves. When you're living check to check, you can fucking then fucking, tell me what your thoughts are, and I'll have a fucking opinion on it and care. Till then, Go fuck yourselves. But anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Yes. At this point, I value Virgil's political opinions more than Meryl Streep's. That's where I stand on things.
And you know that's one of the main people. Meryl Streep went out there and did this and did that. Fuck you. She was the same one that was fucking standing Roman Polanski, that pedophile piece of shit. Roman Polanski, she gave a standing ovation to. Donald Trump, though, is fucking evil. When a pedophile you'll you do a standing ovation for, fuck you, you hypocritical cunt. Yes, I said the C word. Hypocritical cunt. I'm sorry. Did I go off the hinges there for a second? Sorry.
No, that's actually been a major topic of discussion this week. I don't watch the award shows like I used to, but that was a big. I didn't even care enough to go back to see what all of the fuss was about. But I heard she just kind of went off the rails. I mean, she was getting I heard she was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award and talked about none of her movies, none of her accolades. No. It was just like Trump. A political rant.
It was anti-fucking Trump. And yeah, I don't know. These actors need to fucking stay out of it. Again, these aren't the people. These actors are not average Americans living check to check. Which, let's face it, most Americans are living check to check.
Yes.
That's how it works. And they're not. They've got millions of fucking dollars.
Yeah. You talking about leaving the country while, like you said, an average American, they don't have the option. Right. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people that would love to move to Canada or Zimbabwe or fucking wherever the fuck. They would let them move off the grid, but they don't have the funds to do that.
Dude, I'm not lying. If I had my choice, I'd move to Switzerland. It's fucking gorgeous. Have you ever seen the fucking pictures of Switzerland? Mountains, fucking gorgeous. I would. But you know what? I don't have the fucking money. You actors who make 20 fucking million a movie, you have it. You know what? Go fuck yourselves, you pretentious son of a bitches.
Dude, you know what? Coming from a guy that lived in different continents, it's easy for people that never really lived in other countries to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, you don't want to live in other countries. Like, if you're a middle class person, you're not gonna, you can't open your own business in Germany unless you're really German. Like, it's rough. There's not that many opportunities. People think it's just because a certain country's gorgeous, it's a good country to live in.
Right.
Like, Greece is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Economically, they're fucked right now.
Exactly.
I would love to live in Greece, but
I mean,
probably not a good choice.
No, I mean, really, if I had money out the ass, I would be in Florida anyway. To be honest with you, I know.
Well, you're a brave man.
I'm a brave man with a lot of guns. Florida's my state.
That's the recipe to success in Florida, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Bath salt and guns.
But I don't know. I just, I every time I turn on Facebook, there's another actor. I mean, look, I love De Niro. De Niro to me is an excellent actor. He's been in some of my favorite movies. He's
in my favorite movie.
So, look, Goodfellas, fucking Bronx Tale. I can keep going, but to sit there and I'm gonna fucking leave the country if Trump, who cares? Who cares? No one fucking cares. I just don't. And it's just all these actors are coming out and saying they're going to leave. I mean, there's literally a list of actors that are going to leave the country once Trump gets inaugurated. You know what? Let's see how even Miley Cyrus came out and said, "Well, I'm not leaving. I know I said I was going to, but U.S. all the way." I mean, come on. Who's really
going to make a
song
about
leave?
America? Like a year ago?
I don't know. Her dad's like a big country music patriot, so whatever.
Ugh.
But I don't know. Just again, to just wrap up my little, I guess it turned out to be a rant. These actors are not the average American. The average American doesn't want to hear your pretentious bullshit, and you're really causing people to do the opposite of what you say. I know probably zero actors worth of shit are listening to this show, but I wanted to get it off my chest anyway.
Yeah, it's just like, unless you can relate to a person's situation and what they're going through, you just don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, perfect example. Like when I go to a funeral, for example, somebody's mother, or they lost a parent, for example. If I still had my parents, the first thing I'm not going to say is, "Bro, I know what you're going through," because I had my parents still.
Yeah.
You're burying your parent, so it's kind of like you have to know, you have to be able to relate before you open your mouth on a particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we're getting with a lot of these people. They're making these grandiose statements more or less to keep themselves, relevant. Because I recall a lot of people saying they were going to leave the country if he was elected president. He's been elected president for a couple months now.
Yeah, you're right.
And everybody, last I checked, is still an American citizen.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them.
Boxman, quick question.
Yep.
Do you know who Insane Lane is?
No, I do not.
Anthony, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Did you see the rant that he went on?
No. I could imagine, but no.
All right. Maybe I should save this for the Wednesday show because it's mostly wrestling related, but it goes into racism.
Yeah, Jake had posted about this, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Basically, I'll go into it in depth on Wednesday, but basically this guy fucking went on Facebook, and this is after the whole thing happened in Chicago with those dudes in Chirac, like, kidnapping a mentally challenged white kid and, saying racial slurs to him and cutting his scalp and all kinds of fucking
we brought that up last
shit.
week. Yeah, me and Anthony brought that up last week.
Yeah, so this is the day after this happened.
Mm-hmm.
This dude goes on Facebook and says, "Delete me if you want, but these people saying that kidnapping and beating of that mentally challenged white guy in Chicago isn't a hate crime makes me want to listen to some Johnny Rebel songs." Triggered? Good. Get the fuck out of here with your bitch ass. I didn't know who Johnny Rebel is. I checked it out and...
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
That's enough said.
I do have his album.
Jesus Christ.
No, Howard Stern used to play it all the time. Howard Stern used to
I've
play
never
that.
listened to that shit, but...
It's... I mean, do you want me to play some of it for you?
Is it all racist shit?
Yes.
So why would I want to hear it?
Well, not everyone out there has heard of Johnny Rebel, but it is.
Dude,
all of his songs.
I wish I never did hear him. Fuck that guy.
N-word after N-word in every song of his. So, just put it that way. But, quick list. The 23 celebrities said they'll leave the country if Trump wins. I'm not going to name them all. I'll name some highly noted
Notable
ones.
ones, yeah.
Jon Stewart.
Uh-huh.
Nev Campbell. Please, keep your giant tits here, by the way. Keegan-Michael Key. Bye. Go ahead. Leave. Al Sharpton.
Get the fuck out.
Bye. Bye. Have a nice day. Eddie Griffin. You're a great comic, but Eddie Griffin said he'd move back to Africa.
I saw him live.
I like Eddie Griffin. Spike Lee.
I like Spike, but damn, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson. He's got to fucking stay, motherfucker. Stay, motherfucking Sam, motherfucking
That motherfucker
Jackson.
gotta stay. Don't get on that motherfucking plane.
Yeah. George Lopez, later. Barbara Streisand, bye. Raven Simone, bye.
Oh, yeah, fuck her, dude.
Whoopi Goldberg, see ya.
Oh.
Miley Cyrus, just give us a full nude pic and take off. Amy Schumer, later, bitch.
Oh, that bitch is the sky. I can't even believe Ziggler claims that one. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a few of them that that are still here. I mean, Amy Schumer's doing fucking commercials right now. So
Yeah, speaking of one-dimensional, you brought up one-dimensional. My fuck. Does she have any material beyond, men are pieces of shit, I play with my pussy all day. Talk about one-dimensional. Have you ever listened to one of her acts?
Yes, her other one dimension is how she's a slut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. That's woman comedy nowadays. There's sluts and here's really funny woman comedy. White girls do black guys. Isn't that hilarious? No, it's not, is it? It's not funny. That's the problem.
It's funny the first time you hear it, but once that becomes the general, consensus, the general theme of your act, time after time, it stops being funny.
Yeah, that's like Lisa Lampanelli's whole act, is that she's banged black guys, and it's funny. That's her whole act. So,
because I'm white and he's black and he has a big dick.
Yeah, he's got a giant cock. Get it, people? Laugh. Funny. Funny. Anyway, I think it's time to
wrap this bitch up.
What do you say, Shaheen? You got anything else you want to jump in with?
No.
All right. Hey, Shaheen, while you're here, you can do your plugs for us.
All right, check us out Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, same channel, mixler.com/THD Podcast. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/group/THD Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, same handle, and go on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, and YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and check out Wrestling Soup and Yakuza Kick Radio. And I guess next week you guys will be doing it at the same time, right? Friday night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern?
That's it.
Got it.
Goddamn right. Same channel, mixler.com/THD Podcast. And subscribe to them on iTunes, Stitcher, same places, THT Movie Review.
Damn. I didn't mean ours, but hell yeah. Before we leave, B-Megs asked one quick question. Do you guys find any women stand-up funny? I do find a few funny. It's when they start conforming to this is what all men find funny, and when it comes to just the comics we just said. But there are a few funny, very funny women out there. And to be honest with you, most of them are the newer comics coming out that aren't conforming to that. Yeah. So there you go.
She sold out. Sarah Silverman, slurring my words. Sarah Silverman was hilarious.
She's funny.
She sold out, but yeah,
she
Dude,
did.
I hate her.
Unfortunately, that's what happens. These women all sell out and they all conform. It's just what happens. But anyway, on that note, we are going to get out of here. We will see y'all next week. Shaheen, great job at plugs. So glad you're here for those. Take it easy. Anthony, I will see you next week at the same bat time on the same bat channel. And that's mixer.com/THD Podcast. There you go. Later, folks.
Big man,